How does JayZ sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly?
Here we go. Here's a fun little fact. I actually have verifiable knowledge of all 15 of Mr. Carter's illegitimate children that he hides from the world.
After I found out what actually happened to Aaliyah, there was no way I could stay.
Oh my God.
If you just finished watching 50 Cent's Diddy documentary on Netflix, something probably hit you fast. One name was totally missing, and it wasn't some random side character. JayZ wasn't there at all. No clips, no photos, no casual mentions, nothing. And that wasn't by accident. Netflix reportedly chopped out a full section from episode 4, allegedly called the JayZ tapes. 50 Cent fought hard to keep it in, but at the very last second, it vanished. Now I know what you're thinking. How would anyone outside Netflix know what got cut? That's fair. But here's where things get interesting. For months, blind items have been floating around about major behind-the-scenes drama.
They wasn't playing football, and they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his ass, and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but JayZ. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half a homo, but I know I can't say it.
I even talked about how 50 Cent clashed with producers because he wanted serious control. People laughed it off until Gene Deal backed it up in interviews and confirmed the tension was real.
But I don't know what kind of half a homo that is, and you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard JayZ said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching white girls together.
And here's the part that really turns heads. Just days ago, 50 posted on Instagram with the caption, "Yes, I have the footage, LOL." That laughing emoji says everything. When 50 says he has footage, he means something big exists. Look at the pattern. J-Lo got mentioned. Biggie was discussed. Cassie was front and center. But JayZ completely erased. That's not random. That's damage control. When everyone catches heat except one powerful name, you have to ask one thing. What didn't they want you to see? And trust me, this story goes way deeper. So Gene broke it down real clear, and none of it sounded casual. These two weren't just hanging out playing basketball or throwing a football on the weekends. So why did Diddy jump on stage in Atlanta and pat JayZ on his backside like that?
How does JayZ sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there.
Then Diddy told the whole crowd, "Can't nobody call me Sean but JayZ." Let that sink in for a second. I don't know about you, but that's a very specific kind of closeness. And JayZ didn't push back at all. He said the same thing right back to Diddy. Gene even went further and said they used to talk about dating the same type of women, joking around like, "Yo, how's your skinny white girl doing?" Those were Gene's words, not mine. That's not small talk. That's not industry networking. That's the kind of talk people have when they're deep in each other's lives and know way too much about each other. When you're that close, secrets get shared, lines get crossed, and loyalty gets tested. And now it makes sense why JayZ is moving real quiet lately. Because when things start coming out, the people with the most to lose run first. And let's not forget Jaguar Wright. When she went on Piers Morgan's show and started talking about JayZ and Diddy, that segment disappeared fast. Like blinking, it's gone fast. That alone should tell you something big hit a nerve. Now here's where things really shifted. Jaguar was breaking down why so many people in the industry stay silent. She explained that fear runs everything, and once she started naming names, the energy changed fast. Next thing you know, that entire segment vanished from the internet like it never existed. When someone has the power to wipe conversations off major TV platforms, that's not normal. That's protection mode activated, and that's exactly why people believe something serious got touched. So let's talk about what 50 Cent allegedly wanted viewers to see in episode 4.
Here we go. Here's a fun little fact. I actually have verifiable knowledge of all 15 of Mr. Carter's illegitimate children that he hides from the world.
The first big moment wasn't some random gossip. It was about rumors surrounding JayZ's private life. And before anyone twists this, these are long-standing industry claims, not proven facts. We're talking about stories that have floated around quietly for years, with settlements and non-disclosure agreements being rumored, not confirmed. Jaguar Wright has spoken on this multiple times. She's someone who's been around the business for decades and says she's seen how things get handled behind closed doors. In one viral clip, she hinted at powerful people using money and legal pressure to keep personal matters out of the spotlight. Again, these are allegations and industry talk, not court rulings. But here's the key part. If none of this mattered, why cut it out completely? Why erase the conversation instead of addressing it? That silence is what makes people look twice. Something clearly hit too close, and Netflix decided it wasn't worth the smoke. Jaguar didn't tiptoe around it at all. She flat out said, "I actually have verifiable knowledge of all 15 of Mr. Carter's illegitimate children that he hides from the world."
We finally gonna have a real conversation about whether or not Rihanna was trafficked
Oh.
to Def Jam.
She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look
She
at
was
her now.
14 going on 15 years old, flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the fucking morning in a hotel room.
15! Let that sit for a second. That's not one rumor or one messy situation. That's a massive claim. According to her, these alleged situations were kept quiet through legal agreements and payouts, all wrapped up tight behind NDAs. Now let's be very clear here. These are allegations, not proven facts, and no court has confirmed any of this. But this is exactly what 50 Cent allegedly wanted to explore. He reportedly pushed to bring forward women willing to speak, along with documents meant to show how powerful people protect their private lives. Netflix supposedly shut it down fast, calling it too risky and too heavy legally. And here's the street-level question people keep asking. If someone is just a wildly successful businessman, why would there be this much effort to keep personal matters sealed away? Why so much money spent on silence? That's the kind of thing that makes people raise eyebrows. Now, the next part is where things got even more serious. Jaguar hinted at disturbing industry behavior, using strong language that suggested exploitation, not confirmed crimes. 50 allegedly had sources lined up, ready to talk on camera. But once again, all of it was cut before viewers ever saw it. Episode 4 was supposed to hit hard, and Netflix made sure it never did.
Auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl.
With no parental consent.
With
She
no
just-
parental, nobody. She
Well,
was
Jack-
flown. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone, with no parental supervision.
This is where the story turns uncomfortable, and it needs to be handled carefully. Jaguar Wright has alleged that Rihanna's early career involved serious behind-the-scenes decisions made while she was still a teenager. These are allegations, not proven facts, but the timeline itself raises hard questions. Rihanna has confirmed in interviews that she was 16 living in Barbados when producer Evan Rogers helped bring her to the US. She said she arrived in New York without family around and auditioned for JayZ late at night, not in a studio, but in a hotel setting. That alone made people pause. Industry insiders have questioned why such a young artist was placed in that situation, even if the goal was a record deal. Jaguar claims money, contracts, and legal shortcuts were involved, including alleged payouts and paperwork decisions made by adults around her. None of this has been proven in court, but is part of what 50 Cent reportedly wanted viewers to examine, using documents and witness accounts.
After I found out what actually happened to Aaliyah, there was no way I could stay.
Mm-mm. Oh my God.
And then I started doing my research and I started talking to other victims. I should have never signed that non-disclosure agreement, but I did. I took the blood oath, and so did my first husband.
Whoa.
And I left.
That's why it ain't never been right since, because you
Exactly.
left it. You don't leave
Exactly.
anything like that.
I did. And he was paid to be my husband so no one would know who I was really involved with.
Rihanna herself once said the hardest part was moving to a big city surrounded by strangers. That quote hit differently later on. People now look back and wonder who was supposed to protect her. Then there's the industry pattern people keep pointing to. Young talent rises fast, others quietly disappear, and questions never get answered. That's why Netflix allegedly backed away from this entire segment. Too risky, too controversial, and too many powerful names involved. And this wasn't the end of what 50 wanted to show. More stories were lined up, more voices ready to speak, but episode 4 never let them. Jaguar claims she was forced to sign what she described as an extreme NDA, something she compared to a blood oath meant to keep her silent about what she says she witnessed in the industry. Those are her words and her allegations, not proven facts. She's also said her ex-husband was allegedly paid to act as her public partner, while powerful people controlled the narrative behind the scenes. According to Jaguar, once she learned more about what she believes happened around Aaliyah, staying quiet was no longer an option.
Last question. I asked you to do this earlier, but I just want you to do it even more, go detailed. What do you predict will happen next in the future? You know, it's like you see it before it happens.
Kathy White's true killer is going to be unveiled, and it's not a man. And that woman died screaming.
Anything else?
Yeah. Show him the tape, Diddy. You got it.
Now let's slow this down and be clear. Aaliyah tragically died in a plane crash in 2001, and there is no proof of foul play. However, conspiracy theories have existed for years. What is publicly known is that Aaliyah was growing up, gaining independence, and stepping away from certain industry relationships before her death.
Oh, man,
That might buy you a little time. You should probably stop looking for plastic surgeons.
man.
Looking for a new life, new face. We're going to hang you high. JayZ too. Beyonce too. And we're going to round up all the fans. See, I love a good gay man. I just can't stand him. And that's what it is.
With that being
You
said,
want to know what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
I'm about to f up a mirror.
That context is what 50 Cent reportedly wanted to explore, not to accuse anyone, but to show patterns of control and silence. And here's the chilling part. Some figures in entertainment appear on major shows and never get pressed with hard questions. When those questions do get asked, the footage somehow disappears. That reportedly happened after Jaguar spoke openly in a televised interview that later vanished from official platforms. Then there's the name people barely hear anymore, Kathy White. Jaguar has alleged she was connected romantically to JayZ and later passed away in 2011 from a reported aneurysm. There is no evidence of wrongdoing. Still, the way certain names fade from public discussion keeps people talking. That's the kind of power 50 allegedly wanted viewers to see. Think about this for a second. If Diddy allegedly has footage tied to someone connected to JayZ, that creates leverage. And leverage means you can't just walk away even when things get messy. These are claims and theories, not proven facts, but people online believe that's why certain alliances never fully break. It's not just one name either. Fans and commentators point to a long list of people linked to JayZ and Beyonce, whose careers stalled suddenly, or whose stories ended in strange ways. Take Kimberly Thompson, for example. She was Beyonce's former drummer and later went to court seeking a restraining order. In her filing, she made extreme claims about emotional distress and manipulation. Now, whether you believe those claims or not, here's what matters. Kimberly wasn't a nobody. She was trained at Berklee College of Music, chosen by respected industry leaders, and had a real career. After speaking up, she allegedly found herself shut out of the industry completely. That's the kind of power people talk about. Not magic, not fantasy, but influence. The ability to decide who gets work and who doesn't.
About it before.
It's a 50-foot bed under the moonlight in his backyard, and he'd be like, "I'm not going nowhere today. I'm staying in the bed all fucking day." I got Rihanna in the bed, JayZ in the bed. I got everybody in the motherfucking bed. I'm God now. That's what he said.
And then there's Orlando Brown. People mock him, doubt him, and dismiss him. But when he talks about what he says he saw at industry parties, some listeners wonder if there's more there. He even described details about Diddy's events that went viral online. You can still find the clips and judge for yourself. Orlando Brown described something that made a lot of people stop and rewind. He talked about a massive bed set up outside under the moonlight at Diddy's home, where he claimed all-night gatherings would take place. According to Orlando, Diddy would be in that bed for long stretches with different adults coming and going. He even mentioned names, including Rihanna and someone he called Jason, which many people online believe was a reference to JayZ. These are his claims, not proven facts, and they remain allegations. Now here's why this matters. This exact party scene was reportedly meant to be covered in episode 4 of the documentary. 50 Cent allegedly wanted to break down how these circles overlapped, how JayZ and Diddy moved in the same spaces, and why their relationship went far beyond simple business deals. The idea wasn't to make criminal accusations, but to show patterns, access, and influence among powerful adults in the industry. Netflix allegedly shut that down immediately. The legal risks alone would have been massive. Multiple high-profile names, unverified claims, and potential lawsuits everywhere. Gene Deal even hinted in recent interviews that there are stories people aren't ready to hear yet, and you can still find those clips floating around online. That's why episode 4 never showed this side. Not because it didn't exist, but because airing it would have shaken the whole industry. Gene Deal made one point loud and clear. A lot of industry behavior stayed hidden for years, but platforms like YouTube changed the game. People can finally talk about what they saw and heard, and he made sure to say this.
These cats was doing a whole lot of stuff that people in the industry won't speak on. And then now that you're speaking on it and it's becoming where is that you can get on YouTube and you could talk about this and say what you seen or say what you heard, you understand, or what you know, some people look at it being a problem. But these cats ain't street cats.
These aren't street guys with codes and rules. These are entertainers pretending to be untouchable. No loyalty, no honor, just image. And here's what many people believe happens next. When someone speaks out against JayZ, their career suddenly hits a wall. Or worse, look at Killer Mike. He won multiple Grammys in one night, a career-defining moment. And instead of celebrating, he ended the night in handcuffs over a minor issue that could have been handled quietly. Industry whispers claim calls were made behind the scenes. Nothing proven, but the timing had people talking, so now comes the real question. Why did Netflix cut an entire segment that 50 Cent reportedly fought to keep in episode 4? The answer many believe is power. JayZ isn't just an artist. He's a global businessman with connections everywhere. Lawyers, executives, favors, pressure. Netflix likely decided it wasn't worth the legal storm. A safer documentary meant survival. A full one could have meant lawsuits and shutdowns. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think pressure was applied? Are these real concerns or just wild theories? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this made you think, hit like, share this video, and subscribe for more deep dives. Stay locked in and stay curious.